All right, my friends, so today we are looking at something a little different. It's an actual body camera. I've done a lot of reviews for like dash cameras and action cams and things like that, but not a body camera. So a little different, which is kind of nice, kind of fun. This one here is made by a company called Rexing, and it is their P1, as you can see here on their website. P1, let us walk with you. Now, the first thing to kind of be aware of is these are really designed more so, I don't want to say it's totally for them, but it is, I think, primarily designed for like law enforcement, people that are walking around. It could be police, it could be firefighters, it could be EMTs, it could be security guards, etc., etc. But maybe you're in an area that you're just like, you know what, I wouldn't be a bad thing to have this on me right now, just because I don't feel safe. Or maybe you're just someone at the end of your shift at work. You're someone that has to walk a little bit of a distance to the car in the dark, and you're like, I'd like to have something that's recording these interactions just in case something happens. Well, maybe something like this could be really cool. So what we're gonna do is take a look at what comes in this here box. I actually took it out of this box last night and went around for a little walk during the dark, the nighttime, we'll say. We'll do another walk just outside in the day just to see what the quality is like. And then we'll give our final thoughts on the Rexing P1 body camera. Coming up. All right, guys, so if we look at their website here, this is kind of it. 170 degrees, so that's awesome. You're gonna get a full field of view, which is good. IR night vision, again, really cool. Now, one of the things you can do inside the menu, and just so you know, the menu is actually not that hard to figure out. Once you get it, you're like, okay, that makes complete sense, I'm good. There is a setting for the night vision to have it turn on automatically whenever it senses that it's dark, or you can go on and set it to come on when you feel like it. I had mine set to come on automatically and seemed to work. Large storage, this is can be a plus and a minus, I think. So plus wise is you and I don't need to supply a memory card. That's kind of nice. And because it's kind of based around a dash camera, my guess would be that once it fills, which it should, I think, be able to get multiple hours at 64 gigs, is that it'll just start loop recording, right? So it'll start deleting the old files and make room for the new ones. So you'll constantly have 64 gigs worth of storage or video files or photo files or whatever on there. That can be nice, but I do like that ability, or would like to have seen possibly that ability to have extra storage via like a micro SD card, so that maybe I decide I want to record to that, so it's easier for me to pop that out, throw it, pop another one in, because maybe I just need to not have that deleted, if that makes sense. Maybe? You get what I'm saying, I think. Safety, very cool. You can password protect this camera so that no access to any of the files for removing or deleting without password. So again, really cool for any footage that we have captured, especially if someone in the wrong or something that we want to be able to make sure we keep so that we can get it maybe to the police. Waterproof and shockproof, so IP67 rated, which is great. So you got dust, you got water, you got drop protection. Should be good to go. Wear it out in the rain, should be fine. One button design. So I'll show you some of this kind of stuff when we open this up, because I do think it's kind of cool. Scroll through here, a lot more little goodies on there. And here's your product specifications. I'm not gonna go through all this, but you guys are more than welcome to see it. Now, the one thing just to be aware, when I took my camera out, even though it says the video resolution is 1080p 30, there are lower resolutions. So there's a 720 and there's like a standard definition. Mine was set to 720. So I had to go in and put it up to 1080. So just be aware if you look at it, you're like, why does it not look as good? Well, maybe it's set to a lower one. But 3000 milliamp battery, built-in 64 gigs, etc., etc. There's your loop recording, right? Screensaver, etc., etc. And there's your buy button. You can also, just so you guys know, which I will do, you can get this, here's it on Amazon. This is amazon.ca, so Canada. I'll put links to both Rexing and to Amazon at the bottom if you guys are at all interested in something like this. So here's the box. Yes, plain box, Rexing dashcam. Drive safely. They should have changed that, right? Walk safely. You should still drive safely, but this is really a walking camera. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's all that's on there. What does this say? 60-day guarantee. 60 days, I guess. I don't know what that, does that say? I can't read that. My eyes are getting worse. I'm telling you this. 60 days, yeah. I think that says money back guarantee. So that's cool. And there's a QR code on the back. I'm pretty sure that is strictly for you and I to be able to go to their website. All right, let's see what's in here. So first off, we get a bunch of little manuals. So we get a manual, get a safety guide. You get some, I don't even know what these little promo stuff. Dashcam safety guide, cool. Use your manual though. This is important because, well, we need to know how to use it, and if you're a manual person, you'll appreciate this manual. Actually, very well laid out. It's actually big fonts, which is super nice. It's color. I say color, but there is some color in it. Not color photos, but everything's big. They didn't skimp on the fact that they're like, let's just cram all this information into 4 pages. Nope, easy. Tells you how to do everything. Tells you all the settings inside the menu. It says, yeah, that's right. Tells you all the functions of the settings. I'm gonna screw that up. I'll leave it there. You get what I'm saying. And it comes in a bunch of different languages. So, very nice manual. Well done. We get the camera. We won't see that yet. We'll get back to that in a minute. And we get a bunch of cables and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna throw this over there. Camera will be last, of course. So, we get inside here. It's like present day. Okay, we get a little power adapter, which is great. You know what? So many companies nowadays aren't giving you these, so I appreciate that I get one of those. But I do understand why a lot of companies aren't, because of this whole, most of us have 1,000 of these, so why do I need another one? Well, it's not your decision. If I don't want it, I won't get it. Now, you also get a bunch of these. These, I believe, you see this one here, and you'll get another one here. Oops. This one here. These are 2 different like mounting styles, I guess. So you'll see this one here has this ability to kind of bend into place, as well as this. Now my thought is with this one, and I'm not 100% sure because I haven't perused through the whole menu. This one here, I think maybe, again, I'm not 100% sure, maybe designed, for instance, to kind of go into like where your button is. You know what I mean? Like, so you kind of have this, and the button on your shirt, you can kind of maybe latch that around so it kind of hangs here. I don't know. That's my guess. I'll get into thinking about that more down the road. This opens up, looks like a hair clip, right? But that's my thought, is it kind of just goes in and mounts around like that. I don't know if I'm right, but it's some kind of mount. I don't know what, I use this one. This is the mount I used last night. It's pretty standard, right? This is gonna mount into the camera. It's a clip. Now for me, wearing a t-shirt, pop it right there, and you're good to go. The other thing this could be used for, I guess, is that even if you were doing it on the t-shirt, it gets it down lower, right? If you wanted it lower. So maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just, no, that wouldn't work because it has to go this way. I don't know. I'm guessing it's this way, but I'm not 100% sure. Anybody knows for sure, you guys can let me know in the down below. Comment. Do it up. For those of you that have used this before. And of course you get a USB cable. Now, this to me tells me a little bit, gotta love it when your camera just shuts off in the middle and you're just like, card full. I'm like, oh yeah, my fault. Anyways, this kind of says a little bit about its age, in my opinion, because this is like, it's not USB-C, it's not even micro USB, it's like mini USB. So this is an older cable, so just kind of be aware of that. Is it a big deal? No. I'd like to see them possibly maybe upgrade this down the road to have USB-C, because that's kind of where everything's going. That's my hope. Will it happen? Doubtful. But you never know. You can have some wishful thinking. All right, last but not least, just kind of push this all over here. We do have the camera. That's it right there. Push that up. We don't need to see that. There it is. Rexing, right? So a couple cool things on here, of course. It's really simple. And it is pretty small and light. So, you know, if you and I are wearing this all day, we're probably totally going to forget that we have it on. That would be my guess. We're going to be like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this, right? You guys, hopefully you can see that, I think, over there. But yeah, super small, which is nice. You know, you put this on here. Noticeable from other people seeing it, probably. Now, I think it also has inside the menus, I think I saw this, a discrete mode or like a private mode. So I think it turns off like all the like recording lights and things like that on it, which is also good. On the side here, of course, you have your photo button, your USB, your power. On the flip side, you have your video button, audio button, and your up and down, which is what you use when you're in your menus. And then this, of course, is your kind of get you in your menus. This is your OK or confirm button, and this is your back out. It's actually super easy to get yourself around inside the menus. And the menus aren't complex at all by any means. Once you turn this on, and I'll just kind of hold the power button. Again, there's your power button there. You just hold it. You'll hear this. Ready? Ta-da! There's no way you don't know that your camera turned on. It's fairly loud. There it is. And you guys hopefully can see here. There is a little sticker here. I'll peel that one off. Maybe it's a little cleaner. But there it is there. Date and time, make sure you set it, do that in there, because again, if you're going to be using this for security purposes or anything like that, you want to make sure that the timestamp is right. And this is going to have timestamp on it. I don't think there's a way to remove that. That's a part of this. It's like an insurance policy, right? So if you're like, I can use this like as an action camera, but I don't want all that information on the screen, then no, don't get this. So inside here, of course, this is our video. So all we do is we tap on it and it starts recording. Off it goes. And it shows you below the recording time how much space is free. So we can just tap that and she stops. Done. On the other side here, on this side there, is your photo button. So all you do is tap. You get a camera photo shutter button sound, which is kind of nice. Again, going into your menus, backing out, hit OK. That's all up to you guys to play around with. But the other important one is this OK button. So let's say you're walking and you're a little concerned. Somebody's following you. You're like, oh, oh, oh. That's my concerned sound. So you got this on and you hold the OK button. Just hold it. Just keep it held. It doesn't seem pretty bright here, but if it was dark out, that would draw attention, you know? Hold it again. It goes silent, so it just has the lights. And if you hold it again, it turns it off. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. Now, what would also be cool with that, and I don't know that, and it may be something in there, but it would also be cool that if it wasn't recording for whatever reason, let's say it wasn't, the moment you hit that, the recording would start. That would kind of be cool. I don't think it does it, but it would be cool. Rexing, if you're watching, if you're listening to this, that's what I think. Let's go take it for a walk. Yeah? Okay. Oh yeah, I'll show you this. So this is this little clamp. They have this same kind of little, you just kind of slide it in. Now, oh, I wonder, you can kind of slide this whatever way you want. So you can have it this way, right? Nope, it has to go in this way. So this is gonna go like this. So I'm not sure. Anybody figured this out? It's maybe just a bigger shirt? I don't know. I use this one. This one works good. You just kind of slide it down on this, right? You'll hear it snap, so it's in there securely. When you want to take it out, you get your kind of finger down here, you pull it up, and you slide it back out again. It's just got a little tiny, almost like a little divot that locks in there. So, slide. Yeah, rock and roll. And then you take this, be like, I'm ready to be all secure now. Security. Well, I'm security. That's me. Just got to get myself like a little Segway. Would be good, right? There we go. Time to go for a walk. All right, let's go. All right, so we're outside. You guys will be able to hear what the audio sounds like and what the video quality is like. And this is just a short walk. I'm just going down the street a little bit. You can see the trees are turning colors. It's going to be nice and pretty out soon. I will take some footage tonight, and but this is pretty standard. If you were just walking around, you'll be able to see how shaky it is or how clear that 1080p is. So we're going to not go very far. I think that's, you guys can get an idea of how good the audio is here, and you guys can see if you're stopped what it looks like. But I think when it's mounted to a shirt, it's actually pretty good.
You know, you don't need anything fancy. I like that little clip. I still haven't figured out what that long clip does. And what about my arms? Can you see? Like, you can kind of see how wide it shoots, right? When my arms are out like this. All right. I had some issues with this little camera that I'm going to talk about when we go upstairs. So we will kind of kick back to the room video. All right, hold on.
All right, so let's get a few things out of the way. So I've looked at the footage, and it is nothing really in comparison to pretty much any kind of action camera that you and I would get nowadays. But we have to realize, I think, what this camera is designed for. This is not an action camera replacement. I was looking at this camera being like, I wonder if you could use this as something like that, because of the fact that it is pretty much like, I want to say bulletproof, but you get what I'm saying. And it will run for like 8 hours. This would be great for documenting full days worth of stuff. And it is sort of for that, but it's really designed to capture moments where it's our word against theirs. You know, this is, like we saw, law enforcement. This is for law enforcement that has to validate, especially this day and age, what they did versus what they didn't do, what they said versus what they didn't say, the actions that you and I took that can be either held against us or for us. And we want to make sure that that's documented and captured with a time code, and that whole day doesn't have anything that's kind of missing. That's where this is. This is not one of those, oh, I'm going to become a YouTube action sports guy and I'm just going to grab one of these, because then you're going to be disappointed. This is really documenting what's happening through your day, and then at the end of the day, if nothing happened, we erase the footage and we start over again. In that aspect, I think it actually does a really good job because it does capture it. Now, it is 1080. I would love to see them work on possibly a newer version of this with a couple things. USB-C would be fantastic if they came out with a P2, we'll say, something like that. I'd love to see them use possibly a different sensor, because when we were shooting a little more into the light, its ability to work with any kind of dynamic range for, you know, light versus dark. When I had the sun kind of shining into the camera, the blacks just went right down. The shadows just crushed right down. It had a real issue with that. That being said, when I was the other way, it wasn't that bad, I guess. Again, in regards to what it is. No stability. Is that important? It would be nice. It'd just be a nice little add-on just to make sure that the footage that we captured would be. And I think a lot of people would pay a little bit more if those features were included in the camera. But again, we have to realize what we're buying this camera for. This is not us being like, I'm going to post all this to YouTube. No, because no one's going to watch it. It is capturing a moment when we need to be able to hand this footage over to somebody to validate what's actually happened. So in that aspect, I think it actually does the job really well. Fact that it can password protect the files, the fact that you can put your police information in there if you are a police officer or someone in that security world, the fact that it will run for what it says like 8 hours on a charge and record that whole day. I think that's fantastic. Plus some of the security measures, like being able to turn on a little alarm with flashing lights. And quick access to buttons. They're really easy. I didn't have to look down at all to figure out what I was doing. Super easy for me to take a picture. Super easy for me to start and stop video, etc., etc. That aspect, it worked really well. Now, here's one thing. If you guys do look at ever getting something like this, before you record anything, because this is what happened to me. I actually recorded a whole bunch of stuff, plugged it into my computer, and I have both a Mac and a small little Windows box, and both of them came up and said, yeah, drive's not readable. So I had to either initialize, it said on the Mac, and on the Windows machine, it was like, you need to reformat this drive. So it would play from the camera. I could watch it all, but I couldn't actually move anything. It literally said, no, no, no. So what I would do is, if you were to get something like this, very first thing I would do, plug it into your computer. First off, see if you get that error message, because if you do, just initialize the drive. because if not, now you're in for a world of how do I get access to that footage? I initialized it. I actually set it as a exFAT format, which is what Windows formatted it as, and it's been working fine ever since. So that's great. It seems to be doing the job. So you saw the video. Photo-wise, here's a couple shots of the photos. It comes up as some crazy resolution. It comes up as like 34 or 35 megapixels. There's just no way it's that. Zooming in, whatever, you can see the clarity and quality. It's taking whatever that sensor size is and just kind of interpolating it and magnifying it and doing whatever. So take that again with a little bit of a grain of salt. But it takes photos. So again, if you're looking at capturing some images, they're perfectly usable. Night shots, I had to go out again and re-record some of the night shots, so I'll put some night footage in right here. It shoots infrared. It does have that ability to be able to set it to auto, so the moment that it thinks it's too dark, it'll automatically switch, and I would recommend that because it'll switch probably a little earlier than you and I think that it may need to, but it kind of knows its limitations, and because of that it switches into a night mode. So I'd rather have the night shot on with the infrared versus getting color video that you and I really can't make anything out. So I'd set that auto up. Just realize too, with infrared, it only can really see things at a certain distance. So, you know, if you're trying to see down the street, it's not going to see it. You know, if you walk by a car, yeah, then we're good. If somebody gets up in your face, then we're good. It's going to capture all that kind of stuff. So I do like that infrared. Now, these aren't overly expensive. And if it is something that you require for your job or require just for peace of mind, because again, you are someone in the police or if you are someone in like security, don't worry about the quality. You just need something that's going to capture the moment. And I think this is going to work really well for you. I do. I don't, you know, are there better ones out there? I don't know. But you just have to realize you're not going to get the same kind of quality as you would from an action camera. But an action camera, really, you get about an hour before you change batteries. And you're constantly swapping memory cards because to get that kind of quality, you need all kinds of space. So this is pretty much mindless, right? You start your shift or whatever you're doing, you pop it on, your clothes, your uniform, whatever it is, hit the record button, and at the end of the day, you turn it off. Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. This is the Rexing P1. Just realize, like I said, before you do anything, plug it into a computer, see if it can recognize the drive. If it can, you should be good. If not, I'd give it a format. Just format that drive, get it out of the way. And after that, it's been working fine. All right, guys, Rexing P1. Links down below if you guys are interested. And I'm going to leave you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. If you use one of these, let me know. Oh, and a side note, I actually contacted Rexing in regards to the issue, and they were like super supportive, trying to find me information. They were trying to find me ways to recover the files, which they came up with some software which would allow me to recover. But sad thing is, all recovery software has, you know, it costs $89, and I was like, no, I don't want to pay any more for that. So, not that the footage was of importance, so I just reformatted and we've been good. But they busted their hump trying to figure out a way to get around this. So that was good on them. Anyways, I'm going to leave you there. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Rexing P1. Later, guys.